All right, let's get ready for another deep dive.
I love deep dives.
So today we're calling this one the Bond Report
Okay.
because we are diving into an episode of The Bond.
Ooh, The Bond. I love that show.
Yeah, you know that series where Joe Bond explores how nature, hobbies, and sustainability all kind of work together?
I love that.
And this episode in particular is on kinetic spearfishing, which is filmed right here in California.
Oh, wow.
It's actually filmed in Newport Beach.
Nice.
So if you're ever in that area, maybe you can check out
Yeah.
some of the spots they feature.
Yeah, for sure.
But for now, let's just kind of get into this episode.
Right.
So what exactly is kinetic spearfishing all about?
Well, they're a company that offers chartered spearfishing trips.
Okay.
But what makes them so unique is that they're focused on sustainability, and they have absolutely stunning handcrafted gear.
Okay, cool. So before we get to the fancy spear guns,
Yeah.
let's back up a little bit. For those of us who have really only ever fished with a rod and reel,
Mm-hmm.
what exactly is spearfishing?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And why would someone choose to do that?
So spearfishing is exactly what it sounds like.
Okay.
You dive down with a specialized spear gun and you target your fish.
Okay.
And it's way more selective than traditional fishing,
Okay.
which means there's less bycatch and a lower impact on the ecosystem.
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
it's more about precision and being in tune with the environment.
Exactly.
Okay. I could already see how that kind of ties into the
Yeah.
sustainability aspect of it.
Absolutely.
But what about the experience itself? What makes spearfishing so appealing?
So it's incredibly immersive.
Okay.
Think about it. You're holding your breath, you're navigating the underwater world, and you're observing fish behavior up close.
Yeah.
It's like hunting, diving, and meditating all rolled into one.
Now that's an image.
Yeah.
And speaking of connecting with nature, the episode actually touches on the history of spearfishing in California, which turns out goes way back.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The indigenous Chumash and Tongva tribes were some of the earliest practitioners of spearfishing.
Wow.
Yeah, and they used it as a sustainable way to provide for their communities for centuries.
It's amazing to think about, those ancient techniques
Yeah,
being carried forward all the way to today.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
From, handcrafted spears to the modern gear, it's clear that our fascination with the ocean just runs deep.
It really does.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings us back to kinetic spearfishing.
Yeah, full circle.
What really struck me about this company is how they've managed to combine traditional craftsmanship with modern technology.
Yeah.
But they still have this deep respect for the environment.
Yeah, they do a good job.
So tell me a little bit more about their approach.
Okay.
What makes them so stand out?
Well, for starters, they offer these charter trips on a 33-foot catamaran.
Wow.
Talk about cruising in style.
Yeah, right.
But it's the details that really impressed me. So their spear guns are handcrafted
Okay.
from sustainably sourced old-growth Burmese teak.
Old growth teak.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty fancy.
I know, right? It is fancy.
What's so special about that?
So old-growth teak is incredibly strong and durable,
Okay.
and it's naturally resistant to water damage.
Oh, okay.
So it's perfect for crafting a spear gun that's going to last a lifetime.
Wow.
They even incorporate abalone inlay,
Oh, wow.
which not only looks beautiful, but it also acts as a lure to attract fish.
That's incredible.
Right.
I love how they found a way to just blend functionality and aesthetics
Yeah,
and sustainability all into one.
I know. It's really cool.
And speaking of sustainable and stylish,
Okay.
you know what else caught my eye when I was looking at this?
What's that?
Remember those super cool socks we found while we were researching?
Oh,
The ones called Sock Sailor?
yeah. The ones with the hidden parrot and anchor designs.
Exactly.
I thought those were perfect for this episode.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
The parrots are kind of a nod to all those colorful fish
Yeah.
you might encounter while you're spearfishing.
Right.
And then the anchor kind of represents that connection to the ocean.
Yes, definitely.
And plus, they're made with organic cotton and eco-friendly dyes.
Oh,
So they align with the whole
Uh-huh.
sustainability theme of this episode.
I love
And they're just plain fun.
They are fun. Who doesn't love a good hidden detail, especially when it comes to socks?
Right.
It's like a little secret just for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of secrets, I bet our listeners are dying to know where they can find these awesome socks.
Yeah, probably.
Don't worry, we'll put all the details in the show notes.
For sure.
But for now, let's get back to kinetic spearfishing.
Okay, sounds good.
What are some of the other things that stood out to you about their approach?
Well, besides the amazing craftsmanship and their sustainability, I was really struck by the fact that the company is owned by two retired Navy SEALs.
Oh.
I mean, talk about experience and a deep understanding of the
I
ocean.
know, right?
It shows in everything they do, from
Yeah.
their commitment to safety to their emphasis on responsible fishing practices.
Mm-hmm.
They're clearly passionate about sharing their love of spearfishing with others while ensuring that it's done in a way that protects the marine environment.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I think so too.
Yeah, it's really inspiring to see a company like that,
Yeah.
really walking the walk when it comes to sustainability.
Yeah, for sure.
It makes the whole experience
Right.
that much more meaningful, knowing that you're supporting a business that really cares
Yeah.
about the ocean.
It does. And, the episode also highlights how spearfishing can actually deepen your appreciation for where your food comes from.
It's a good point. In our modern world, it's so easy to be disconnected
Right.
from the source of our food.
Yeah, we just grab things off the shelves at the grocery store without really thinking about
Right.
the journey they took to get there.
Exactly.
But with spearfishing, you're actively involved in the entire process, You're out there in the ocean, you're selecting your catch, and you're understanding the delicate balance of the ecosystem.
Right.
It brings a whole new level of awareness and respect to the table.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate expression of mindful eating.
Totally.
And, it's not just about the food itself.
Right.
The episode also touched on the sense of accomplishment
Yes.
and like personal growth that comes with spearfishing.
Definitely. It's a challenging hobby that requires skill, patience, and a certain level of mental fortitude.
Yeah.
You're pushing your physical limits, you're facing your fears, and you're learning to be present in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
There's something incredibly empowering about that.
Yeah. It's like a test of your own resilience.
Totally.
Speaking of testing yourself, did you catch that part about Kinetic Spearfishing offering beginner classes?
Yes. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
It makes spearfishing accessible to people of all skill levels, even those who might be intimidated by the idea at first.
Yeah, it's a great way to just kind of dip your toes in the world of spearfishing and see if it's for you.
Totally. And who knows, you might discover a hidden talent.
You never know.
You never know.
Speaking of hidden talents,
Okay.
those sock sailor are calling my name.
I know, right?
I need to add a pair to my wardrobe,
Me too.
like ASAP.
I love how they combine comfort and style with a subtle nod to our ocean theme.
Right.
Yeah, it's like wearing your passion on your feet.
Literally.
Literally.
And they're perfect for any occasion.
They are.
Whether you're out on a boat, exploring the coastline, or just running errands around town,
Mm-hmm.
they're a fun and comfortable way to show your love for the sea.
I love that.
They're a great conversation starter, too.
Oh, for sure.
Imagine someone catching a glimpse of those hidden parrots and anchors.
Oh my gosh.
They'd be dying to know where you got them.
Right. It's like a secret handshake for ocean enthusiasts. Yeah. But all this talk about spearfishing and socks has me thinking,
Huh?
What do you think Jo Bond would say about all of this?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think she would be absolutely thrilled to see a company like Kinetic Spearfishing promoting sustainable practices
Yeah.
and making spearfishing accessible to a wider audience.
I agree. It aligns perfectly with her mission of showcasing the interconnectedness of nature, hobbies, and sustainability.
Totally.
I bet she'd be rocking those socks sailor, too.
I can totally picture her sporting those socks
I know.
while she's out exploring some hidden cove
Yes.
or interviewing a local artisan.
Totally. She has that effortless, cool girl vibe that makes everything look stylish.
Yeah, she really does.
And what I appreciate most about Jo is her genuine passion for the topics she covers.
Yeah.
You can tell she's not just going through the motions.
Right.
She's truly invested in learning and sharing her discoveries with the world.
It makes the show so much more engaging to watch.
It really does.
You feel like you're right there with her, exploring new places, experiencing new things.
I know.
And that's what makes The Bond so special.
Right.
It's not just a TV show.
Right.
It's an invitation to connect with nature in a deeper, more meaningful way.
Beautifully said. And, that connection is something we all crave, whether we realize it or not. It's in our DNA to be drawn to nature, to seek out adventure, and to challenge ourselves physically and mentally.
It's a reminder that even in our modern, tech-driven world,
Yeah,
we still have that primal instinct to explore,
absolutely.
discover, connect with the world around us.
You got it.
And spearfishing, in its own unique way, taps into that primal instinct.
Absolutely. It's a sport that demands respect for the environment,
Mm.
a deep understanding of the ocean's rhythms,
Yeah.
and a willingness to push your own boundaries.
Right.
Not for everyone,
Right.
but for those who are drawn to it, it can be a truly transformative experience.
Yeah, and that's ultimately what the bond is all about.
Right.
Inspiring us to find those activities that bring us closer to nature. So
Yeah.
whether it's spearfishing or hiking, surfing,
Right.
just taking a walk in the woods.
Totally. It's about finding those pursuits that ignite our passions,
Yeah.
challenge us to grow, and remind us of our interconnectedness with the natural world. And sometimes it's those most unexpected hobbies that end up having the most profound impact on our lives.
Yeah, you know what I find fascinating?
What's that?
Is how certain activities can connect us to different aspects of history and culture.
Oh, yeah.
Take spearfishing, for example.
Okay.
It's a practice that's been around for centuries,
Wow.
passed down through generations.
Yeah.
And it's deeply intertwined with the traditions and livelihoods of coastal communities around the world.
That's a great point. It's like a living link to the past, a way to connect with the people who came before us
Right.
and understand how they interacted with their environment.
Exactly.
And, it's not just spearfishing.
Yeah.
Think about surfing, for example.
Okay.
It originated in ancient Polynesia, and it's evolved into this global phenomenon
Right.
that celebrates athleticism, artistry, and a deep respect for the ocean's power.
It's incredible how these activities can transcend time and culture
Yeah,
and bring people together from all walks of life through this shared passion.
I agree.
And it's not even just about the physical act itself.
Right.
It's about the stories,
Yes.
the traditions, the values
Mhm.
that are woven into the fabric of these pursuits.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the things that makes the bond so compelling.
Yeah.
Jo doesn't just showcase the activities themselves.
Mm-hmm.
She delves into the history, the culture, the personal stories that make them so meaningful.
Right.
She helps us see beyond the surface and appreciate those deeper connections
Yeah.
that bind us to these pursuits and to each other.
She's a master storyteller.
She is.
And, I think that's something that we can all strive for,
Yeah.
to find those activities that speak to our souls,
Yes.
connect us to our heritage, and
Yeah.
inspire us to share our own stories with the world.
Beautifully said. And who knows, maybe one day we'll even have our own Bond Report adventures to share.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
We could go spearfishing with Kinetic Spearfishing,
Yeah.
rock those sock sailor, and document the whole experience for our listeners.
I'm in.
But for now, let's just enjoy the inspiration that the bond has given us.
Okay.
And maybe encourage our listeners to explore their own passions.
Yeah.
Whether they involve the ocean or the mountains,
Mm-hmm.
or just a quiet corner of their own backyard.
Absolutely.
So to wrap up this deep dive into the Bond Report,
Okay.
let's just say a big thank you to Jo Brand and the entire CSTV team for creating such a thought-provoking and inspiring series.
Yes. And a special shout out to Kinetic Spearfishing for showing us that sustainability and adventure can go hand in hand.
And of course, to our amazing listeners for joining us on this journey. We hope you've enjoyed diving deep into the world of spearfishing
Yes.
and discovering those unexpected connections between nature, hobbies, and sustainability.
And as Jo Bond always says, until we bond again.